My name is Lainey Fitzpatrick, and this speech is about genetic cloning and how a certain animal has helped us advance agriculturally and medicinally. Now, I'd like to take a moment for all of you to think about a person or a thing that has impacted history. And you don't need to give your answers, you just need to think for a little bit. Now, I'm sure that none of you have thought about a sheep, especially a sheep named Dolly. Now, Dolly the Sheep is a sheep that was genetically cloned in 1996, and she was the first mammal to be cloned from an adult cell. And this was a revolutionary thing in science, and it has helped us tremendously agriculturally and medicinally. And without Dolly, we wouldn't have a lot of the advances that we have at this very moment. Now, before I get into all of the impacts that she did, I'd like to talk about the history of Dolly. Now, in the Gale Encyclopedia of Science, the 5th edition, Volume 4, in 2015, David Petchuk made a book called Clone and Cloning, and he talked about Dolly the Sheep. She was born in 1996 in Scotland, and she was created from a mammary cell from one sheep, and then that DNA was implanted in an egg, and that egg did not have a nucleus. It was removed. So the mammary cell was implanted in that egg, and then that egg was implanted into a surrogate sheep. And then that sheep carried Dolly, and she was the first sheep to survive past that point. And according to the Gale Encyclopedia of Science, human cloning under Antonio Farina, she was the first to survive out of 277 surrogates. So she was a big deal to the science community. Dolly the Sheep showed that scientists could take cloning to another level. She showed how far scientists could go, and they did exactly that. They pushed cloning to the limits, and we have lots of advancements in fields such as agriculture. So the benefits of cloning in agriculture. Dolly the Sheep was able to show people that we can make some of the best pure breeds. In the Gale Encyclopedia of Science, under human cloning, it states that farmers use cloned animals for pure breeds. That means that they get the best DNA from the animals of their choosing, and then they make clones so that we get the best meat and milk. So those clones have offspring, and then those offspring are used for commercial use. Dolly the Sheep has also helped with plant genetically cloning as well. It's the same process as making a pure breed. The farmers choose the best genes that they want, and then they make a plant. Some plants, when they're genetically cloned, are able to fight off pesticides more, or defend against certain weeds more, or take on certain weather effects. And this gives us the best meat and plants for our consumption. And without Dolly the Sheep's cloning, we wouldn't be able to have such technologically advanced food. But it just doesn't stop there. Dolly the Sheep has also helped us with medicinal purposes. So, I'd like to take a quote from the National Human Genome Research Institute under the title Cloning. and it states, "The same Scottish researchers who cloned Dolly have cloned other sheep that have been genetically modified to produce milk that contains a human protein essential for blood clotting." So that means that scientists have found a way to use the cloned animals to help with disease research, and in this example, to help humans that have problems with blood clotting. This is a big advancement because before that, we had only a few variant types of animals to test on. And now that we have clones, all of their research will be precise, it'll be stable, because all of the cloned animals have the same DNA, so their data will be constant. So it'll help disease control be very efficient, so that we get the best cures for diseases as quickly as possible. And Dolly has also led to humane ways of stem cell research. In the Gale Encyclopedia of Science by Steen Constant under stem cells, it says that Dolly has helped produce a way to clone stem cells. Stem cells were usually extracted from human beings, and they are the closest thing that we can get to human DNA when we want to work on them in science labs. And now scientists have found a way to clone specific stem cells so that they grow in a lab, so that means they're humane, they don't harm people. And again, with the cloned animals in the science lab, the data will be constant, and we will again get ideas more efficiently and cover disease control more efficiently as well. So, in conclusion, Dolly the sheep may just be a sheep, but her birth and her life have determined a lot about the scientific community. Without her, we wouldn't have the disease control or the special food that we have today. So hopefully, the next time that you all see a sheep, you think of Dolly the sheep and her wonderful legacy that she's had on the scientific community. Thank you.